Ruminating, fridge or mini fridge, 1/2 freezer, 1/2 fridge for light ice cream and kombucha. Today is Friday, May 2026, and here I, Tanis, share hers of Seattle, ruminate about what size of fridge or mini fridge, 1/2 freezer, 1/2 refrigerator, would work better for light ice cream and kombucha storage living with my soulmates. So this is a combination of, I'd say, inspired by my cardiology self-experimentation. So cardiology is study of the heart, and then navigating my retirement account stuff. So including its origins. So like my work at the time, but then also just work-life balance and my cardiology self-experimentation. So I'd say the cardiology self-experimentation is having a designated space for stuff and in keeping that space stable as best as I can. And so instead of putting a bunch of stuff into a fridge that we might use just for general food, also for hosting, there's a little bit of like, if we're gonna, host a number of people over or we have somebody staying with us, Josh and I go to Las Vegas, and Donald Trump's like, hey, why did you eat the Pop-Tarts without me? And so he tags along back to the house and is a house guest or something. And there's space in the fridge for him. So it's like, perhaps having a designated, some people have, so I worked at a place where I worked at a pool, and we had a freezer for popsicles. And that was all that was in it, was popsicles. And so kind of drawing from my own work experience in that sense, sometimes there is a designation for something. And I was like, well, would we want it to be like a half, so make it half and half. So we have this designated fridge. And what's the size? And we do half and half fridge, half freezer, because we do eat a lot of frozen things, and we like frozen, like light ice cream and stuff, and ice cream and gelato and frozen Greek yogurt and frozen yogurt and that kind of stuff. So half and half. But do we want a mini fridge or a fridge? And I was like, well, it gets back to the hosting a little bit of, there's us, the people who live there, but then there's also, do we have critters? Do we have squirrels? Do the squirrels get squirrel milk gelato that they enjoy? And then if we have a house guest, what if they want a pint of gelato? Or they want a pint of light ice cream? This is about light ice cream. Or they want a pint of frozen Greek yogurt. Or maybe they want 3, is having enough space. So there's the baseline of us. So maybe we take up more than a mini fridge because we try to keep it, we go out and we buy 16 pints at once, right? We have space for it. And then we eat off it and we go and buy a bunch more. Then somebody comes over and they're like, I want 5. And we're like, oh, we're up to 21. A mini fridge might not quite do. So there we go. I think here light ice cream, so as a fridge, and that comes from hosting, really. In my work experience, I have over 6.00 consecutive years of work experience in kind of the hospitality industry as a stay-at-home daughter. So kind of that kind of work experience playing in here is, as well. And so here light ice cream is like Halo Top and Nix. Intend to eat the whole pint each time, 1 pint a day per soulmate. So yeah, so we're eating, like, let's say we make it a routine, we eat a pint of light ice cream a day, then this fridge really might be a legitimate need for us and our habits. So a cardiology self-experimentation bonus. One reason any cure may not work on everyone. So something I'm doing today. Since drug use / substance use is so varied, as with kind of any physiology work, drug use / substance use may impair / block my cure from working. Yeah, so I think there's like, if somebody takes a substance, be it recreational or otherwise, there's kind of like a don't mix drugs kind of thing. So if somebody's been trying, has a condition or something, and they're going in and the doctors are prescribing medication after medication after medication and nothing's working, perhaps the answer is, do they use a substance recreationally that makes it so that the medications being prescribed don't work? It's not actually the medications, it's the person's, recreational drug habits. And it was like, so mine might work similarly. My self-experimentation, I'm not saying this would be true, but for me, this is relevant. My self-experimentation became more successful when I stopped treating my ADHD with Adderall / its generic equivalent. Medication / treatment was optional anyway. Yeah, I would say, for that one, I'm not saying Adderall, my cure wouldn't work with Adderall. I'm just saying that there was a progression, okay, for me. So there we go. It is a neat aspect of physiology. A cure does not have to be designed to exclude people. People choose to exclude a solution by their own behavior. Yeah, so that's actually something I was like with physiology is kind of like, well, a person can choose to have it not work by, you know, their own habits. And perhaps that people go, well, that might be a bit far. Maybe it's your system. So then, okay, then a cardiology solution, right? Like a person, like it's based on, you know, like what's in the blood, right? The kind of thing, you know, like blood pressure, what is the blood, what is the blood made of, blood glucose, what, you know, what kind of substances in there in terms of food, right? So, thinking about eating, right? My solutions are, you know, food and exercise. So, yeah, like good food consumption, appetite, and keeping the food down is. It's a really simple cure. Is it? No, I'm just laying a little bit of groundwork for if I were to come up with something. And what is a drug my cure might work with? Well, I consume caffeine on a daily basis, so if it's a cure, then it does work, at least for me, with caffeine. So there we go. That's ruminating. Fridge or mini fridge, 1/2 freezer, 1/2 fridge for light ice cream and kombucha.